Maybe it's because I just watched the episode, and I'm coming off the hype of witnessing it for the first time. Or maybe it's because One Piece is my favorite anime of all time, and I'm just being biased. But one thing is for sure, episode 1071 of One Piece has changed anime forever. If the title was enough for you to tell, this video will contain spoilers, so click off, go watch the entirety of One Piece real quick and come right back. On March 28th, 2022, the world was taken by storm. While the anime watchers were still trying to figure out how Zoro and Sanji would win their fights against King and Queen, all the way back in episode 1055, the manga world of One Piece was on fire. It seemed like you couldn't go anywhere without hearing the words Gear 5. And while up until now, I tried to avoid all the manga spoilers that constantly showed up on my Twitter timeline. No, seriously, I think Twitter has something against us anime only watchers, because I swear that's all they put on my timeline. Manga panels telling me that King is a Lunarian or that Big Mom was defeated. Yes, I was spoiled on both of those. I hate Twitter. All throughout Wano, I had done my best on avoiding all spoilers. But Gear 5 was something entirely different. I just had to look. I couldn't have been the only one to think that Gear 4 would be the last gear of the series. I mean, there are already two different alterations to the transformation. Snake Man and Bound Man. And I never really thought of an awakening of the Devil Fruit as another transformation. To me, it's just a strong boost to your power with more abilities. Well, I guess that's what every new gear has been. But y'all get what I mean. People began comparing Gear 5 to some of the most iconic transformations ever, like Super Saiyan 1, Ultra Instinct, Bankai. So to say the least, the hype for this gear to be animated was insane. And so, about 5 months later, the anime had reached chapter 1044, titled Warrior of Liberation. Gear 5 was being brought to the anime world, and once again, it felt like everyone was talking about it, if not more than during the manga debut. Gear 5 will break the internet. I kept seeing this everywhere, and as an anime only watcher, I had no idea what to expect. I mean, what could be so great that people can compare to the greatest transformations ever, like Super Saiyan? One Piece fans must be overhyping it. I just don't see it happening. But I was wrong. Gear 5 not only broke the internet, but it broke down barriers that have never been tested before. At least not in any anime I've seen. There are two keys to what made this introduction episode one of the best anime episodes of all time. First is the backstory. For all One Piece fans, the lore is everything. Name drops of unknown islands, people, and weapons will always be a staple of Oda's work. For a while now, the name Joy Boy has been thrown around here and there in the past few arcs. As a One Piece fan, you become so used to it, to the point where you really don't expect to get any answers to these mysterious figures that Oda drops every now and then. Shit, I didn't think we were gonna get to Joy Boy until we reached Laugh Tale, but it seems that Oda's thrown us a rope to help us climb out of this deep, dark abyss of lore. While this rope is extremely long and the climb is endless, not knowing when you'll reach the top, it's at least something. The rope Oda has thrown to the One Piece theorists so they can start gathering their evidence for their "the One Piece is actually on the moon, not Laugh Tale" type of theories is Joy Boy. While it's not direct and I'm definitely not able to piece these theories in any logical way, I can tell that he's dropping crumbs, little by little. Like confirming that Gear 5 has something to do with Joy Boy. We notice because the confirmation comes from Zunisha, who had a long history with Joy Boy. The Drums of Liberation. Oda has hinted to Nika the Sun God in the past with Jinbei's fight against Who's Who, and it was confirmed as well in this episode that Nika the Sun God is what they called someone in the past who had awakened the Gum Gum Fruit. And lastly, which had totally blown my mind, the Gum Gum Fruit is a zone type devil fruit. What the fuck? Its hidden name is the Human Fruit, which is a mythical type. Model Nika. Whatever that means, I'm sure it won't come up like 200 episodes later. My point of bringing up all this info is that this is what One Piece fans live for. The shock factor is something that's been built up for the entire series, but hidden so mysteriously in a way that it's created an entire culture focused on deciphering Oda's lore. So us getting crucial details like this makes the episode all the much better. And then obviously what everyone has been talking about, the animation. The craziest part about it is that Wano has had so many amazing scenes with amazing animation, like Zoro vs. King. Queen vs Sanji. Long Kid vs Big Mom. All the animation has been S tier, and it has consistently been this good for basically the entire arc. And that's saying something, especially for One Piece, who is notoriously known for having, at times, horrible animation during slow parts of arcs. But Wano hasn't had that problem. It's been amazing animation-wise. So for them to find a way to top what was already elite, that takes a different level of dedication, effort, and creativity. Now, to be fair, Oda gave them the blueprint, but what they did with it was beyond everyone's expectations. Going in and out of styles from cartoon to anime repeatedly has to be insanely difficult to do, but to make it look that good is on a whole different level. And not only does it look good, but it perfectly adapts what the manga chapter looked like for the fight. I read the chapter after watching the episode. It was almost necessary because most of what I heard from people's reactions on the episode was how they somehow managed to get every aspect of the manga's drawings correct. Obviously, the manga is entirely different to draw than it is to animate in a show. The manga only has to show a still image of what's happening, being able to add enough detail to the image to give the reader something to go off of, letting their imagination fill in the blanks. But the anime has to capture that moment in every single frame on screen and interpret what they believe to be the correct motion of what was inferenced in the manga, adding an entirely new dimension to what was already difficult enough. Obviously, Oda was there to guide the vision to perfection. But in short, what I'm trying to say is that this project was extremely difficult when it comes to imagination and creativity, and they bodied it. Toei, you have left me speechless. You've changed the anime game forever by introducing a new style which I'm sure will inspire different types of animation in the future. And the crazy part is, this is only the introduction. I'm not a manga reader, but we haven't gotten any actual fighting yet. This episode was only the beginning of what's to come, and boy am I excited for what's to come. If y'all enjoyed this video, and more importantly Gear 5, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Leave a comment on what y'all think about Gear 5, and with that, peace y'all.